What up, DJ HazMatt here,
Yeah, and I'm Matty Willz.
and welcome to the halftime edition of Matt and Matt Sports. Yes, sir. Browns versus Pittsburgh Steelers in Heinz Field. It looks cold out there. It looks real cold out there. You see the thick fog coming out of the breath. It's supposedly Ben Roethlisberger's last game at Heinz Field because he's presumed to retire at the end of this season. The drama being built. The Browns can play spoiler to the Pittsburgh Steelers. If they win, the Pittsburgh Steelers, like the Browns, will be eliminated from playoff contention for the season.
Right.
And that is motivation enough to go out there and get it done in the second half, not so much in the first half.
The comments are rolling in fast. The mystery Browns fan, not a good game for the Browns. Twan Steele, that's my dog. Baltimore Ravens, he's also going to be eliminated if they aren't already. Johnny Zapp,
they're done.
Put effing Chubb in, which is that's your sentiment exactly. That's what you were getting into right before we came on live. So I don't know, man. Like I was saying, they said in the game, and that's why I stole their take. They said maybe Chubb's hurt or maybe something's wrong with him. I don't know. He's not even on the field. But Haz, you made a great point, which was
this isn't unusual. If you watch the Browns, there's always a series or two in the game where they just take Chubb completely out, and they'll run either Hunt or, in this case, Dearness Johnson for an entire series, and you'll be wondering, like, why is it Chubb on the field? And then all of a sudden later on you'll see him back in the game, and you'll be wondering why he was ever out the game in the first place. And that's Kevin Stefanski's philosophy of how to attack defenses. I have no explanation for why you would take Chubb off the field. If you don't take Chubb off the field against Green Bay, maybe you win the game. But those 8 yards of carry wasn't enough for him. Then it was time to go back to the passing game. Just like in this earlier, we had Hooper had a false start penalty, so we moved back 5 yards. They were definitely about to run in there. Then all of a sudden they just jump right in the shotgun, and 3 passes later we're off the field. It's like the running game is working. It was working, but you go away from it every time.
Chubb has 4 carries for 35 yards, I believe, as my app just closed on me. And Dearness Johnson also has 4 attempts, but only 9 yards. Chubb averaging 8.8 yards per carry in this game. So I don't know why they're not running Chubb. Baker Mayfield, irregardless, which is actually a word now, 4-15 in the first half.
Put 58 yards. Williams comment back up. She said, "Don't give Pittsburgh the game."
Yeah. It's ugly right now.
Did she mean to say Bitchburg? I was just wondering.
I don't know. Probably something close to that. But look, the elephant in the room is that this is a big letdown game for the Browns. Yeah. They don't care about I don't know. Certain members of that locker room, though, certainly do not care about this game. Guys that have only been here for a year, they don't care about no rivalry with the Steelers. The season is over effectively because there's no postseason possibility. So these guys are making plans to go on vacation right now in their heads. And we're seeing more of the same from your boy, but I don't have it in me tonight to argue with you about Baker Mayfield.
Listen, Matt, I'm not blind. I've seen how Baker Mayfield's been playing this season. I accept that if I'm going to get on the other side of the debate about Baker Mayfield, Baker Mayfield is your savior. Oh, you love Baker Mayfield. You know what I've always loved, even back when it was Brian Hoyer? Stick with something that works. Yeah. And Matt, it never mattered to me who the quarterback is as long as it's working. You know that about me.
I do.
And if it's not working, if it's blatantly looking like it's not working, then I'm not going to be for that either. I'm not going to defend somebody that's just out there throwing picks and throwing balls into defense. I'm not going to defend that. Right. I'm going to call what I see. But what I got into conversations with you guys about throughout the season is even in wins, you were looking for deficiencies in your quarterback.
It's
And so
not
that's
looking for, but that's the thing for me though. I'm not looking for Has. I know I
well,
say this all the time.
obviously, listen, I'm saying it like this. If Baker Mayfield had been playing the way he's playing now, I would be on the other side of this argument, but that's not the case, Matty Willz, and
Well,
you know that.
this is the thing. One, throughout Baker's 4-year NFL career,
You're going to go
now,
ahead and put that stat out that he has the most interceptions since
No, I don't
2018.
know. I don't know that stat. I did see a stat today that he's like 28 and 29 in all of the games that he started. But throughout his 4 years, we're nearing the end of the 4th year, and we still really don't know. And nobody can definitively say that he's the guy, because in his 4 years, he had the rookie season where he famously broke Peyton Manning's rookie touchdown record. And he had the second half of last season, which have been the highlights of his career.
Second half?
Yes. The second half of last season is when he
think
turned up.
We won more than half the games.
No, what I'm saying is the second half of last season, Baker turned up. He was lights out. He played great throughout the rest of the season.
Okay.
But it was those two stretches, to me, that is carrying everybody's opinion that he's got to be the guy, only because we've had 30 other quarterbacks in the last since 1999 or 31 or whatever it is, and nobody wants to go fishing for another quarterback. And I get that. My thing, though, is that the roster today is good enough to be in the playoffs. The roster, people can talk about coaching all they want. I still say the coach calls the plays, the players need to execute the plays. And if the plays were executed more often this season, we would be in the playoffs. So I put most of the blame on the quarterback. Now he's hurt, so we flipping kind of, because I'm cool with Baker getting his 5th season because he's going to get surgery. And if we go into next season and the first 4 games, this is what he looks like, then we know. But if he goes into those games and he plays a lot better like he did last season, then maybe we can sign him. Maybe we can re-sign him, and I'll get behind that, because I don't want to go fishing for another 100th quarterback either. But I don't think that he's that good just from what he does on the field. I just don't think that he's that good.
Well, I don't take any pleasure in saying this, and I don't take any pleasure in watching it. But at the same time, like I said, and Matty Willz, I have to bring up a comment, something that a repost of yourself when you brought up Johnny Manziel. And in that paragraph,
from 2016,
and in that paragraph, you mentioned that Johnny Manziel was the best quarterback that we've had since '99. You said that.
But what else did I say? I said a whole lot of negative.
No, you were saying that he was being an asshole for his off the field, not really being focused in on that. And yeah, you were giving him critique, but you also said, and I want to say this because you said he was the best quarterback we had since '99.
Well, I don't even know if that's true today.
But you said it.
But maybe, yeah. I mean, I know I said it.
But back then you were willing to accept what was not good quarterback play because you said he was the best we had. But people can't. But Baker Mayfield is actually the best quarterback we've had.
Oh, clearly,
since '99.
Clearly, but that doesn't mean that he's.
But you would back Johnny Manziel in that same scenario or mental notion, but not Baker. So that was the whole thing about me. It was
that's a snapshot from. Clearly, we knew by the end of Manziel he wasn't going to work. Clearly, so that's neither here nor there, as my grandmother would have said.
Roger Wells says that Baker is scared. Now Baker did look scarred. Did you mean scarred?
I think he means scared and probably scarred because he takes a lot of hits, man. But I don't know. I think he plays. I think he
Baker
looks
takes
like
hits
he plays
unnecessarily. He does
Absolutely.
He does look a little shook and unsure of himself out there. And this is not the Baker that. This is not the Baker Mayfield that I'm used to seeing. And I'm wondering if, after a while of going back, that they've been battling it out with the fans because his wife has gotten involved.
Fam.
Stop. No, you're going to let
it out with the fans.
Well, maybe not. But you know that Baker Mayfield isn't the type of guy that can ignore the noise for too long. He can't ignore the noise. You know who we probably needed to be a quarterback here in the Cleveland.
Mayflower because he's soft. What did you say?
Baker Mayfield. You know who would work here? a quarterback like a Jalen Hurts would work here, because Jalen Hurts is not going to get flustered by the negative stuff because he plays in Philly. And trust me, they be on your ass.
Yeah, for sure.
Just as bad as Cleveland fans are on the quarterbacks here. So you need a guy who's able to withstand that, because he's not going to have a smooth sailing right off the bat, and fans are going to want to run him. If he don't get you to the Super Bowl, they're going to want to run him. And you have to be able to get past that on the mental side. And I don't think Baker can. I think it might be over with for Baker Mayfield here, only because of how toxic it has become for him here.
Well, I think as a professional athlete, you have to be prepared for that in any situation, in any city. I think that just kind of comes with the territory, especially if you're the quarterback. Now, my opinion about Baker, I think he should get the surgery. Somebody just commented that.
Of course.
I think he should come back. They should just let him get his 5th year, unless you can get one of the unicorns who may become available this offseason, which nobody really expects to happen. Nobody expects to be able to get Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. I don't want Derek Carr or anybody else that's on the same kind of tier as Baker. When I look at the quarterback, the NFL quarterback, when I watch football, there are certain guys who, no matter who's out there or what's going on in the game, they can move the ball and elevate the level of their teammates. Then some guys who just can't. And usually when you see that they just can't, they don't just magically get it. Like Nick Foles took the Eagles or won a Super Bowl with the Eagles, and nobody wants Nick Foles because he's just a guy.
He's garbage everywhere else he goes.
That can kind of manage games, which is what Baker is to me. He can kind of just manage games. When Chubb is going off, Hunt, we've missed him terribly this season. When he's having a good game and the defense is balling, Baker shines. When it has to be about Baker, he can't do it. That's all.
I think my question is, when you have Nick Chubb and Hunt,
I know,
why would it ever have to be about Baker?
I don't know. That's the mystery. I don't know. You got to ask Coach.
I see that somebody, Tamika, was like, what about Deshaun or no? Like, well, we don't know what's going to happen with
Deshaun here.
Who wouldn't want to have a talent of Deshaun Watson? Yeah. But
they're on the field, by the way.
The baggage of Deshaun Watson is what we don't know.
Hey, listen, if he settles and he pays them dollars and everything is done, put the trade in for Deshaun Watson. And watch
who we gonna have to give up?
This team elevate
itself. Who we gonna have to give up?
You saw Deshaun Watson. You remember them games?
Who we gonna have to give up?
They won 3 first-round picks. You're gonna have to give up a lot of draft capital. You're gonna have to. But your team is great now. Your team is a quarterback away today. They're kicking the ball. The Browns are receiving it. We'll be back after the game to wrap up what happened.
Yeah, we'll see you at the post game. Tamika, come on back. Mystery Browns fan. We'll see y'all later. All right. For Matt and Matt Sports, we see y'all later. I'm Haz.